The silent enemies of your health may not come in the form of sugar or fat, but in the invisible chemical cocktails laced throughout the everyday foods we trust. A new study has sounded an alarm that cannot be ignored. Combinations of commonly consumed food additives are now linked to a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This isn't fringe speculation or a vague theory. It's based on a sweeping analysis of more than 100,000 adults over nearly 8 years. And it points toward a disturbing truth. We may be eating our way toward chronic disease without ever realizing it. Researchers from INSERM, INRAE, Sorbonne Paris Nord, and several other institutions analyzed data from the Nutrinet Santé cohort and found that certain mixtures of food additives, the very same ones found in ultra-processed foods and diet sodas, are contributing directly to diabetes risk. Not just individual additives, but combinations. These substances, when ingested together, are interacting in ways that accelerate harm to the body, potentially creating dangerous synergies that amplify their metabolic impact. This is a brutal wake-up call for anyone who still believes the food industry is watching out for our well-being. For decades, regulatory bodies have approved additives on an individual basis, as if people consume them in isolation. But that's a fantasy. In reality, these additives are mixed and matched across hundreds of products, in sauces, snacks, flavored yogurts, processed meats, frozen meals, and most insidiously, artificially sweetened beverages marketed as healthy or low-calorie options. We are being sold a toxic chemical puzzle, and now the picture is becoming clear. 2 specific mixtures were implicated in the study. The first was a cocktail of emulsifiers like modified starches, carrageenans, guar gum, and preservatives like potassium sorbate, all of which are standard ingredients in milky desserts, processed fats, and cheap sauces. The second, and arguably more dangerous, included a disturbing lineup of acidifiers, sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, acesulfame K, colorants, and coating agents, most notably found in diet sodas and so-called health drinks. These aren't minor ingredients. They are foundational to the ultra-processed food empire. The study showed that even when adjusting for diet quality, calorie intake, sugar levels, and lifestyle factors, these additive cocktails still push diabetes risk significantly higher. That means it isn't just about eating too many calories or not exercising. It's about what's hiding in the food itself. And the worst part? These additives are everywhere. You don't have to be gorging on fast food or guzzling soda every day to be exposed. If you eat even moderately processed food, which most Americans do daily, you're likely ingesting these same mixtures. This is not an issue of personal choice anymore. It's structural. It's embedded in the modern food supply. While the study is observational and cannot confirm causality, its findings line up with a growing body of research warning about the so-called cocktail effect, where the combination of multiple additives creates unforeseen biological effects that are more severe than any single additive alone. In cell studies, these mixtures have already been shown to disrupt the gut microbiome, trigger inflammation, and interfere with metabolic function. In real human populations, we're now seeing the consequences: type 2 diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and a wave of chronic illness that continues to spread like wildfire. And what are regulators doing about it? Almost nothing. The current system of food safety is still stuck in the outdated framework of evaluating substances in isolation, ignoring real-world consumption patterns, and dismissing growing evidence of long-term harm. The additive approval process has become a rubber stamp for industry profit, not public health protection. Companies are allowed to load their products with dozens of artificial ingredients, colorants, thickeners, flavor boosters, without testing how those ingredients behave together in the human body. The result is a national experiment on human health, with disastrous results. Diabetes now affects over 37 million Americans, and tens of millions more are pre-diabetic. This disease is not just about lifestyle, it's about what's being done to the food itself. When substances like carrageenan, long suspected to cause inflammation, are mixed with artificial sweeteners that disrupt insulin signaling, we're no longer talking about minor risks. We're talking about engineered harm, disguised as convenience. If there's any hope to be found in this research, it's in the fact that these additives are modifiably dangerous. That means we can do something about it, but only if people are made aware and push back against the normalization of ultra-processed foods. We need transparency, real oversight, and regulations that reflect how people actually eat. Until then, the burden falls on consumers, often unknowingly, to navigate a toxic landscape of invisible risks. This study should be a line in the sand. The science is clear, and the warning is sharp. The modern diet is laced with chemical combinations that are silently fueling a diabetes epidemic. The longer we pretend that low-fat or sugar-free labels equate to health, the more people will suffer. Food should nourish us, not quietly poison us in plain sight.